juste ça, s'il te plaît.
In the trial of President Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort. Yesterday, the jury was chosen, and the court has already heard from one witness in the case. Manafort is facing charges of bank and tax fraud. These are financial crimes, and his connections to Ukraine are looming over the trial. NPR's justice correspondent Carrie Johnson is covering the trial. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning, Noel.
All right, so the jury has been picked. What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, sure, there are 6 men and 6 women with 4 alternate jurors. This is largely a white, but not an all-white jury. They got notebooks yesterday. Some of them immediately began jotting down notes as soon as the lawyers in this case opened their mouths. Now, the jurors may have to endure this trial for 3 weeks, but the judge, T.S. Ellis, pointed out they'd at least get a free lunch every day the jury is sitting.
And at least the judge has a sense of humor. Yeah. Okay, both sides delivered their opening statements yesterday. And opening statements, of course, are about establishing a kind of narrative of what happened. What is the
Le problème, c'est le lever du soleil, là, on y est face.
Prosecutors Uso Asane says these 18 tax and bank fraud charges boil down to one thing, that Paul Manafort, the former master lobbyist, lied that he believed the law did not apply to him. Authorities argue that Manafort earned something like $60 million through some lucrative political consulting and lobbying in Ukraine. He concealed a lot of that money from the IRS. He failed to file reports on his foreign bank accounts, and prosecutors say he spent that money lavishly on
ultra trop clair.
Antique carpets, famously on a $15,000 custom jacket made from an ostrich. We did not yet
On va avoir le soleil de face, là.
but we did get to hear a lot about
Soleil levant en plus.
bookkeepers and accountants with more to come.
And what is the narrative from Team Manafort? What do they say happened?
They're basically saying that any record keeping or tax filing lapses by Paul Manafort were an innocent mistake, not an intentional fraud that rises to the level of a crime that could send this guy to prison for the rest of his life.
Par contre, on va pas voir les dunes, on va rien voir là.
This case is about trust, and Manafort put his trust in the wrong guy, his former right-hand man, Rick Gates. Paul Manafort says he was traveling around the world doing all this business, and he left the details to Gates. Manafort embezzled money from the business, and then when they got in trouble, deep trouble, Gates pleaded guilty and agreed to flip on Paul Manafort. Now, Rick Gates is going to be a key witness in this case. Manafort wants to put him, Rick Gates, on trial.
And we haven't heard from Rick Gates yet, but the jury did hear yesterday from the first witness, who is a political consultant. Who is this man, and what was he testifying to?
Yeah, a Democratic political consultant, a guy named Tad Devine, who does a lot of TV.
C'est joli le matin, hein, mais aller prendre des photos là, comme il est en train de faire le monsieur là, face au soleil. Encore une radio chrétienne, putain. Ah, personne à vélo.
C'est agréable.
Ah bah à cette heure-là oui, il fait 68. Je sais pas combien ça correspond, 68. Si c'est 18 degrés. 18-19 degrés. Ah bon, c'est 7h du matin quoi. Le soleil s'est levé il y a une demi-heure. Oh la queue derrière. Oh
Ouais, ça commence. Je pense qu'on a pris la bonne option.
Je pense qu'on a pris la seule option, je dirais même. C'est...
Ça se passe Peut-être le week-end, oui.
Ouais, le week-end, je pense que là, ça doit être l'horreur. Ouais, de toute façon, quoi qu'il en soit, tu peux pas aller marcher, il va faire 45-48 degrés cet après-midi. Tu peux pas. Ouais, à midi, on sort en voiture et il fera que 42, quoi.
Il fera frais, quoi.
Il fera frais.
Il fera même température qu'à Bali.
Ouais. Ah, mais c'est le paradis des vipères ici. Hein. C'est même les crotales ici, ça a dépassé la petite vipère. Non mais ça vaut le coup de se lever à 5h30 du matin. Bon, sauf là pour les contre-jours, ça, sur la caméra on va rien voir du tout. Hein. Donc pour le film, pour information, j'ai mis la vidéo en route quelques kilomètres après l'entrée du parc. Voilà.
Faire une des randonnées les plus éloignées.
Hop, encore un curé, allez, un prédicateur. Ah, le rocher machin là, qui va tomber là. En plus.
Pas loin de 3 minutes.
On est à 1524 mètres d'altitude.
C'était bien écrit en bas de là.
Il y avait les deux, 5000
Les
feet.
deux.
On va ralentir, hein. C'est 30, c'est pas 45 maintenant. Balanced Road. Si c'est pas maintenant qu'il faut venir le photographier, c'est après. C'est WAM ça, non? Ou t'es...
Je suis pas aussi qu'avec toi.
Non, non. J'ai cru. On respecte bien les limitations de vitesse ici, sinon on se fait arrêter par le Rangers, je sais plus comment son prénom, à ce monsieur.
Je sais pas. Il a été sympa, c'est tout ce qu'on sait.
Lui il a été très gentil.
Professionnel et sympathique.
Voilà. Se faire arrêter pour un excès de 30 miles, 45 au lieu de 15.
En France, ça avait plus de permis, je crois.
Alors, en même temps, on n'a pas des réglementations qui nous obligent à rouler à 20 km/h sur une 2x2 voies. Et c'est sûr que 70 au lieu de 75 même au lieu de 20 km/h. Je mange bon en France. C'est pas ça meilleur hein, de Collins. Là. Je sais pas ce qu'on voit, mais on va peut-être pas. C'est pas la peine.
reste quelques personnes quand même.
Ouais.
Dans l'autre sens.
Non, mais c'est un parc qui se visite de nuit aussi. Hein. Ouais,
H24.
ouais, H24, de toute façon, il est ouvert. Mais vu les températures, je comprends pourquoi hier soir à 21h, il y en a qui partaient en randonnée. Marc, lui, si tu te débrouilles bien, un jour de soir, tu fais tout le parc. Hein.
Ouais.
J'ai l'impression que ceux qui viennent Bonheur, ils font comme nous. Hein. Ils vont faire
La grande marche.
Ouais, la grande. Allez, jolie dudune. Je vais mettre un poil plus clair quand même. Plus un tiers, c'est bien. Et c'est laiteux aujourd'hui le ciel là.
Ouais. Quelques petits nuages.
Ouais, et des stratus. En même temps, c'est peut-être les nuages du matin. Quand ça va taper le soleil, ils vont se barrer. De toute façon, il fait tellement sec.
Walgreens has good news for everyone. You're back. That's right. Walgreens pharmacists are here to consult with you in person and answer any questions you have about new and existing medications. Get free advice from our trusted experts day and night at Walgreens.com or the mobile app. Walgreens has all major brands of diabetes testing supplies like AccuCheck and Walgreens TrueMetrics. That's not just good news, it's great news. Stop by
Dommage,
and
on voit pas
talk
la
to your
caméra.
Walgreens pharmacist today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance. Hey Todd!
Penser au Needle. Ça
Hum
fait penser au Needle.
Ouais, un peu. Ouais.
Canyonland.
Ouais.
Because of who you love. Imagine being denied
C'est des
medical
needles, de toute façon, après.
Imagine being a victim because of
Non, là, encore une publicité pour un avocat. Ouais, banana. Pas déconner non plus.
It's easy for Christians to accept that Christ bore our sins.
Ah, tiens, un bien truc sur Jésus
The
encore.
proposed 50 square mile inland cut in Southeast Northwest. The fall of the president.
In 22 June 2012, my brother was in a demonstration with his friends, and they were surrounded by the forces there, the security forces.
The brother of Hibad Abbas was well known for handing out flowers to the soldiers during protests. But like thousands of others, Islam was detained. He was taken to the notorious Sitnaya prison. Heba told me about her first visit there. It lasted just 3 minutes.
In those 3 minutes, Islam told us that he needed a lot of heavy clothes for him and his friends. He told us that he had torture, but not as much as he was expected.
On her second visit, her brother was wearing a sweater with the word freedom written across it. The Syrian guards didn't object because they
Le
didn't
problème, c'est qu'on est en train d'essayer de régler une caméra avec des lunettes de soleil, donc...
In this visit, he told us that he had a field court on January 2013.
It was in fact a
Ouais.
military court, and he was executed on the same day. But for 5 long years, the family heard nothing. Then, a few weeks ago, word started reaching the families that their relatives were being registered as dead by the government. It appears to be the first acknowledgement by the Syrian regime that hundreds, perhaps thousands,
C'est vraiment très beau là. S'il y en a qui ont tenu jusqu'à la fin de la vidéo, quoi, jusqu'à ce moment-là, ils regretteront pas. C'est sûrement le cas. Hein. Je préfère encore ça, tu vois, que les ralliures religieuses, leur débat à la con là, sur Trump, là, où ils commencent à s'apercevoir que c'est un connard.
The Prelude number 23 by Dmitri Shostakovich has Jenny Lin, and she undertakes a tour of Brazil next month, playing a program of
To never go into the existing capital again.
30.
The main mosque will have room for 12,000 worshippers. And following ISIS
C'est horrible. Les routes, elles sont plus jolies qu'à l'extérieur. L'extérieur, c'est 65 miles. Ici, c'est 30 miles.
Mike Macramallah oversees the engineering.
Yeah, I mean,
On est où là?
building a new history here. This is
Non, non.
C'était le scène d'une art tunnel là.
There were no people living here.
Ouais, bah, on est bientôt à la rando.
Bientôt arrivé.
Even 5-6 years ago, and now we're building a new city. So we're building a new history. So it's going to be nice.
So would you consider moving here?
No. It's a little bit expensive for me, at least for the time being.
And that's the problem. It's too expensive for almost anyone making a government salary. Nasser takes us around one of the show apartments. He points out the surrounding
Comment tu veux respecter 30? J'appuie pas sur l'accélérateur, elle est entre 35 et 40 la voiture. Boîte automatique à la con.
Beyond the range of most middle-class Egyptians. And some urban planners say the new capital is just a bad idea. That the existing capital will just keep deteriorating while the government focuses on the new city. But in his office, the spokesman for the capital, Army General Khalid al-Husseini, says they're realizing their dream.
It's a dream because we intend to make it smart and we will make it modern enough for the Egyptian people.
He says the government is already providing affordable housing in other neighborhoods. And then he describes a much more orderly city where people and vehicles will be under constant surveillance.
Semble bien.
A unique city, a modern city. It means cameras everywhere. It means
il y a bien des mecs à Harley ici, mais c'est quand même pas le Paris de Harley.
They're trying to make it
Surtout sur les routes non pavées.
Here from their lovely historic embassies. And safe enough to attract well-off Egyptians intent on leaving the noise, the grime, the chaos.
Il y a une vue là sur une espèce de plaine là, désertique là, qui est magnifique.
Jane Araf, NPR News, Cairo.
on y est.
There's a special election happening in Ohio next week, which could shift the balance of power in one district.
Voilà, donc là, nous on va partir pour une randonnée de 4-5 heures qui fait pas beaucoup de kilomètres, je crois.
And a Democrat is putting up a challenge in this race. Adora Namigade of member station WOSU reports.
On a recent Saturday morning, Republican voters were packed into a hotel conference room outside of Columbus to listen to 12th District Republican candidate Troy Balderson speak.
I gotta get you to the polls. You have to get your friends to the polls August 7th. Every minute of every day. August 7th, August 7th, August 7th. It has to happen. We have got to win this race.
This wasn't an election Republicans were expecting. The area's member of Congress, Pat Tiberi, abruptly stepped down in January.
Voilà, là les 15, je les respecte. Hein. C'est horrible. J'ai pas vu de Rangers, mais on va partir de là. Ah bah tiens, il suffit que je dise ça, il y en a un là.
In Congress, Balderson will defend our Christian values and support American jobs by building Trump's
C'est pas Bob le Rangers.
That Trump-style message resonates with Republican voters like Sue Lorenz, a healthcare worker.
Ouais.
It's very important to find a replacement for Tiberi who will support Trump's
Ah bah les gens qui commencent à cette heure-là,
further conservative values.
qui font ce genre de trucs, en général ils sont sérieux. Allez.
O'Connor says he doesn't plan to back Pelosi and says Republicans are trying to distract voters.
I've never once had a voter ask me who I'm going to vote for speaker.
Allez hop, c'est parti.
People care about kitchen table issues. They care about who's going to fight for their access to earned benefits like Social Security and Medicare.
Democrats have outperformed in terms of turnout
Voilà,
almost every special congressional election since 2016. They're hoping to flip one last seat before November in a district that has not been represented.